space.
Okay.
Shutting off. Okay. Whew. Is this for me?
Yes.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you.
And there's lots. Does anybody else need a water before we get started?
Okay, let's see. Let me find my stuff and we can get started. First we're going to do some smudging. And everyone can hear me, right? Okay, good. I love doing these classes because there's like no newbies. It's all just us. So I don't have to behave. Okay.
You can leave that one out, I'll probably drink it in a minute.
I am missing one of my pages. I'm trying to find it. I bet you it's in my other one. Okay. And Brett, will you grab that candle and light it on there? And then that's the smudge we're going to use. So we're going to use an initial smudge, and I have some herbs in it just so that we can connect with the air. And then we also have the dragon's blood smudge that I want to burn when we're doing our feathers afterwards. So you get to experience a few of it. Lighter? I don't know if I've got a lighter. Oh, here's one.
Spirit. Are you going to do spirit again?
Yeah, in October.
We didn't get to that. I didn't get to do that.
Okay, you got that lit and the smudge you got going. All right. So,
There's no stick in that one, but it's not really.
no stick. So you don't have to use a wooden stick. I had a whole bunch of wands that I was going to bring you because the feather wands, depending on how they're made, represent different things. So like we have a ceremonial wand where it is a full wing that we use. We're making these ones because we want to invoke the bird. So Brett's going to smudge. Can you smudge? Well, and listen for the bird because you want to invoke this in yours. Thank you. And smudge your feathers. And I gotta put some of this on me so I get ready. I'm gonna pass around the sweet birch. I like to use it to get connected. It will call our spirit guide. So if you want some, put some. Oh, it's so good. Put it on your third eye, the tip of your nose, and here.
And where?
Sweet birch.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fabulous.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It
I
is
bought one of these
amazing.
and I love it.
I bought one and I lost it. Now it's in my room somewhere.
But it doesn't smell, it,
Did you hear the wings? Do you think you can make that?
geez, she was quick.
Yay, that was quick. You must be cruising it. And we'll grab you a chair. Actually, you can sit in this one, or wait.
One of
We'll
my
bring you
feathers
one
flew
this
away
side.
though when I was running.
What, you must live like, where?
I lived down.
I'll put Brett on this side.
Oh yeah.
Put him here, he's gotta record it.
I live down by the Hilton Bellier Arena. You know if you know where that is.
No.
By Bayshore.
I just need a landmark.
Are you gonna feather one from a distance or not?
So I got all my stuff ready for the moon night tonight before I left home.
I can't wait till
Got all my
tonight.
smudge.
So I was gonna use this for air, but we have fans going, so it's just gonna keep spinning. But we'll still get it going.
I was seeing it in my hand, but but it doesn't happen to be in with the stuff, so it must have flown out the window.
Yes.
What?
One of my feathers.
What kind?
It was a crow feather.
Whoa. Did
I
anyone?
had two and one of mine flew out the window too.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe they're hanging out.
Now you
somewhere.
can.
Dirty bums.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so you will need. You can pick a pheasant
I
feather.
kept thinking that maybe it was like hot. But
Yeah.
Pick a pheasant, and then you'll want to add one of these fuzzy things.
I have this guy, so maybe I'll go with this one because it seems like it has. Looks good.
So those of you two have similar, and then you get one of these. Blue, green. Oh, and I got a purple.
Oh, purple.
Okay.
100%. Sorry.
You can
Do you
trade
feel
if you
strongly
want.
about it?
No, I'll
I
take
like
the
this
website.
Purple's my favorite color.
Okay.
I do.
I got a chair here for you.
That's weird.
That can go back.
I got my nails done today. And my toenails actually. And I got my kids' nails and stuff done.
Did you get smudged? You have
Did
to
I?
listen for the wing.
We're getting the feathers.
So we're gonna pull a card first to get started. I want to see what spirit you have around you. And then we'll start casting the circle. And once we cast the circle, I'm gonna start the lesson on the air magic, okay? And before we begin, we will also introduce ourselves. So I'm Georgina.
I'm Erin.
Krista, Angie, Chris, Leslie, Natasha, Selena, Jessica, Tabitha.
I feel cool.
Which?
Sitting down.
Okay, so shuffle these up and pick one card. We're just gonna move those. I guess I didn't have to pull them all out. I did want to do a spirit guide. Perfect. Take one of those and then go
It doesn't
around.
matter which one I picked, does it?
Nope.
You'll pick yours.
We'll see what you get. So we're using these cards because we want to connect with the spirit that's the most dominant around us for today, okay? Yours is male, and you have a little animal spirit around you.
Makes sense. I haven't. It's midnight, maybe.
Probably.
My black cat.
Aww.
The one that passed. Maybe.
You said you're recording this?
Brett is, yeah. Yes. What did you get? Let me see yours. You have a female around you. That represents the Ouroboros. So something is in a cycle, beginning cycle. Yours is a male spirit around. That's helping you with your feather magic. Female spirit is with you.
Are these too windy or are
No, I think they're okay. I brought extra candles. What do you have there? Let me see if that is female spirit.
Maybe it's in my car and it's just someone.
So what do you have? Female spirit. Female spirit.
Yeah, about that one before.
You did, I remember. You're still connecting to past life energies. Male spirit. Contemplating something. So I'm sorry about the smoke. That'll clear up soon. We're building the energy. Starting to get misty in here. Female spirit and nature.
Am I the only one with a male spirit?
No.
Oh, I didn't hear anyone else.
What'd you get? So we'll cast a circle once we do ours. So I'm going to record this, and that way you'll get a copy of it so you don't have to try to write out everything like the old days. That was only like a year ago.
The old days.
You got female spirit around you.
We started 13 moons in January.
I know.
Yeah.
You're almost done.
Is that crazy?
So I got male spirit and a female. Okay, we're gonna cast a circle.
Do you want these back?
Yeah, you can bring them all back. So the Sacred Circle training was to get you in touch with all of the different elements, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And from there we hold other classes, air magic, earth magic, fire magic, water magic, spirit magic, fairy magic, money magic, all kinds of them. Now, if you end up doing earth, air, fire, water, spirit, you will be initiated as an elemental witch, a registered witch. So people are collecting their certificates so that they can have that, which is really cool. Hopefully you'll start offering some of your witchy stuff out into the public. So today we're going to get into air magic, and before we begin, I'm going to cast a circle around us, and I'm going to do it so that we can still use the washroom. So I'm going in, out of these walls, okay? So in this place, the circles round, I consecrate the sacred ground. With golden light, the space around, all power here contained and bound. From the north, the things that manifest. From the east, the things of mind. From the south, the things that motivate. And west, the souls refined. And yet no place or time there be between the worlds, our words and we. Ancient ones come and see, the space is sealed, so mote it be. Okay, so welcome to air magic. Before we begin, air magic is what direction?
East.
East, right. So whenever we're doing air magic, it has to do with moving forward into the future. Okay, and that's when I'm going to be connecting with you and showing you how to connect with certain spirits, and as well as perform the magic you need to that has to do with the future. So we are going to be making some feather wands, and while we do that, there's a few things that we're going to have. Mine's falling apart, but it's not just your fault.
That's my fault.
Okay. It was the spirit at the house. It wasn't you. So yeah, she used my feather wand at a haunted house when we were cleansing,
Oh, yeah.
and it broke.
Oh, my.
So and all my hanging blessings were like splattered everywhere. So this is the feather wand I like to use when I'm doing magic, and you're gonna have one too. So if you have sticks, we will start cutting the sticks, and or you don't need to have one, you can wrap it. So I have some sparkly stuff to wrap if you want to show them all the, it should be up there. Yeah, you can open that up.
I have a giant one I almost grabbed, but I was like, I don't look like a crazy person driving up the road. It's like all curved. It's like a big piece that I find. I drag them all out of the woods with me.
That's
So,
awesome.
like, my house is full. I know. I have one that's a
And
really
the
cool,
wire?
another really cool end too.
And I thought I had twine. Did you see the twine in there?
That's right in the
It's
middle.
like
Okay, so
one
you
of my
can
favorite
wrap it
things
with
to put on
twine
my
if you
stuff, and
want.
this is what I point with.
Or if you want to use the sticks, you can still use those sticks and
So yeah.
wrap around it
Twine.
and tie.
There's wire,
Ooh, I have one.
There's
Actually, I think I
tape.
have one in the trunk of my car.
Yeah.
and there's sparkly tape.
And then I think I might want to trade this for a red one. Can I trade these?
Yeah.
How would I trade these?
Okay.
I feel like that's
So
nice.
if you, and we have a glue gun. So if you want to get the glue gun going.
Yeah, I want to make him the end. I have another really cool piece that's smaller, but I think I left it in the truck. Had I had the truck, I would have had all kinds of pieces of wood and sticks. Brad's out in the woods right now. I was a little jealous.
And we can cut the stems if you want. Yeah, even the feather one, you can cut the stem if you wanted to. So Brett is gonna stay around you guys as you're making these. If you have your own feather, you wanna make sure you can add to it. And I'm gonna start with the teaching. There's stones in there if you wanna put a stone on it. So you can add a stone. So we're gonna have this going. We have crazy glue going and a wire. I like to use the wire. I try not to use as much glue as possible on the feather wands, but you can see how I tied them all together here with a wire to attach, and then I wrapped it.
No, I'm kind of just thinking, because I sort of kind of want to connect these together, and I feel like that would be kind of cool, and then put the
Yeah, then use the wire and the twine for
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was going to.
You could glue
fits
it,
there pretty
too.
well. Just for an extra little added punch. This is my favorite gift one. and this is what
For
I'm
those that
doing.
are making their wooden wands, pick out the stones that you want to place on it and or connect with it. This one we use some, what is that thing called?
Wood burner?
Yeah, thank you. Wood burner and Dremel. So you can always add to it, but we want to get these activated as well. What do you need?
Maybe I'll just put a
Just
stone
the
on this one
length.
and have it for my little.
Well, we
towel
can just
side.
have a glue gun
Is
station.
that a glue
Just
station?
because I have used this one.
Okay, so
before
this
too,
will
and
be
it
the
fits
glue
perfectly
gun
in my
station
hand.
if you need to use the glue gun. Brett's gonna plug it in and use his chair.
I like this guy though. He looks like a.
And we will be talking about the feathers and the meanings of the feathers we're using. The ones that you have are all pheasant. So we have pheasant feathers are the long ones. And then we have, these are, not duck, these are chicken feathers. So all of these floppy colored ones are chicken feathers. And
Do you know what
then,
this guy is?
what is this one again?
I
I think this one's a hen.
I think this one's turtle.
Awesome.
I found it in the woods. I just find them.
That's
When I stop
good.
in the woods and I'm like, oh, that's pretty.
I mean, it kind of has the shape of an eagle
Yeah, I
feather
was thinking it could be either that or an eagle.
because it's got that tip.
Sphinx chewed on it, so if you're wondering. So he likes to take off the pink feathers.
So there's a box of stones that you can choose from.
Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to use this for a long time.
Put them together, get some wire to attach them. There's that wire stuff, and that works really good. And you can actually cut that with scissors. So if there is a
Yeah.
pile of scissors, pass some scissors down the table too.
At first I was thinking about using the wormy end because it's all like whatever,
Oh, yeah?
but then I thought this end probably will work better for us.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just don't know how I want to do it.
So you think you cut
That's
the
what
wood
I
right
found
here?
Yeah,
little
just about that
pro,
little
I'll put it on this.
And just cut it straight?
Yeah,
I'm not even
I
gonna
don't
use that
mind
'cause
doing
it's
it.
not working.
You wanna do it?
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
Okay, so once you get started, I'm gonna start talking.
Are you connected? Oh, I didn't know if you were still connected.
Cutting station.
So with the element of air, the tools that we use in magic represent the wand and the feather wand, the feathers.
I tried to do the same
So
thing.
you definitely want to have one or the other. Or these two fingers, right? Our blessing fingers, remember in the sacred circle? How many of you use your blessing fingers? Have you cast a circle with it, or?
I tend to use them more than I do my wand.
I use
Good.
my fist
Yeah.
with one finger.
Perfect.
I can connect strongly with my wand.
I can't do it.
You will, once it starts
I
holding
think I have
stuff.
one else, but I don't.
I'll see if this will do it too.
It seems to be just kind of wham the best way.
Oh, do you have drill bit? Oh, okay, that's the drill bit.
I forgot everything. He had to run and get my,
So did I.
a glue gun and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I forgot
You've
my
got
stuff.
actual ones with the drills.
Yeah, I have a drill in my truck if anyone wants a drill.
Yeah, do you have one that,
I
like,
didn't even see it.
Yeah.
might as well.
I'll get it.
Sorry, I was
Okay.
Because that
trying
might
to
be
pop
good.
this open.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
How many people need their sticks cut or drilled?
I'm good. I like the feel of it in my hand.
Anybody else need a drill? Because I'll get it.
Okay, so now if you picked your own feather to put it in,
Yeah. I'll get it.
you did?
What do you mean?
Your own feather, if it has a stem on it, you want to split it,
Do that.
okay? So one of the things that we believe is that when we find a feather, we always just snip the base just a little bit, just a little tiny split,
Cut or a slice that way.
because it releases the spirit of the bird.
Oh.
So if you ever find a feather, make sure you say thank you and just give the tip a little bit of a split.
I always say thank you, but I never.
Otherwise, this bird will stay attached to its feather.
Pull her.
And that is an old native belief that I'm sharing. So whenever the natives find a feather,
There you go.
that's what you use.
I don't know what this is.
Here.
Thank you.
Or distance, like,
I slice it. You can snip it at an angle too, like a quill if you wanted, if you're gonna write with it. But you've gotta break that. Yes,
Yeah, I have
perfect.
to do that. Yeah.
And normally you can almost feel something happen when you snip
feels
it.
lighter.
Yeah. See, mine are all quite intact. This one actually has a lot of junk.
So you could even just cut it at an angle just to snip the tip
I
and
have
let release
so
the
many more I meant
spirits.
to grab.
If you don't snip the feathers, and if you have feathers in your house, it could it could bring anger from the birds.
Oh.
So the native people, it doesn't matter if they're making a dream catcher or their regalia, they always snip the feathers.
Is that okay?
Perfect.
Just to do that?
Yeah. Snip it or slice it, just to let the spirit go right on the tip.
At the end.
Yeah. These ones you won't have to do because they're already bound together.
Wow, this one's weird. The inside.
So these ones have been snipped, you said?
Yeah.
Thanks, my French.
So air magic. I keep closing my book.
Yeah, as well.
So when we are using the air element, we are using our intellect. It's our intellect, our thought, and our adaptability into the future. Because air magic has everything to do with our future, it's important that we learn how to connect to change. A lot of people fear change. For me, change is like so exciting. So, and I've changed my life over and over and over again. As soon as I don't like something, I move on. It's probably why I was, so I moved a lot.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But what's important is our intellect and how we think.
Oh no, it's a different one.
So our intellect is connected to the air element, and when we're connected to it, our thought processes are always moving us forward, bringing us vision. Remember that air magic has to do with our clairvoyance, and that clairvoyance is about seeing into the future. So just like air is a physical thing, it's also invisible. Right? So with air, we get to connect with it by feeling it touch us, but it's an invisible force. And that is just the same as our minds, right? Our minds are physical, they bring us ideas and vision, but it's still an invisible force. Okay? So air is one of the first connections to create and manifest, because the air is what is going to connect to the pre-creation of what we're trying to manifest in our life. So it brings us our thoughts with vision. And it's the power that links the physical world to the spiritual world, and it moves us into the future. So air represents all creatures with wings and that fly. And it represents any creature that has feathers. And the birds that fly are the birds that will bring our manifestations or prayers or the things that we want to the spirit world. So when we create our feather, we're going to connect it to the spirits of air so that it's effective. Okay? So remember that when we're using our wands, whether it's the wood wand or a feather wand, we are focusing on our desires. And that is the true purpose of the wand. Even the feather wand is just even holding it and saying, I want this. So what goes into our wands are all of our desires about our future. Okay, so they are directional. We do use it to create boundaries from our world to the spirit world. Okay, so it does create a boundary and keep us purified as well and safe. So wands will bring us, when we use our wand and put our desires into it, it will bring us the vision of how to go about receiving what we want or making it happen. So anytime I want something, I want to win the lottery, I would hold my wand and say, bring me the lottery. Actually, I'm going to start doing that.
No idea how many times I've won the lottery. Since January it was on my list, but because I didn't put an amount.
Wow. Yes, you want to be specific with what you desire.
Oh, yeah?
This also represents moving us into the future. So how many people here know exactly what they want in the next year?
Within reason.
Okay, how many of you know what you want in 3 years from now?
Yeah.
What about, do you know how you want to feel or have what type of life you want when you retire? Okay, because our future needs to be connected to the spirits in order for us to have help. If we don't know what we want, the spirits aren't going to be able to help us move into the future with what we want, right? So it's important to really contemplate what you want. So from each moment ahead of us, we are connected to the future. So from each moment ahead, we are connected to our future and the sights of our mind that lie ahead. So when we connect with the air, it is clear, it is uncluttered, it is pure visualization. Okay? So visualization is the key when you're working with the air element. It is also our path. As the force of the air brings us towards our manifestations, it is the keeper of our psychic sight. Air works through our spells. It works when we travel. It's activated when we give instructions to our future. When we're looking for freedom, air comes about. When we're obtaining knowledge, that's got to do with the element of air and discovering lost things, as well as uncovering lies. So the air element is a truth seeker, and it also will not let us move forward with things that are not meant in our life. So when we connect with the air elements and creatures, it will let us know what is right for us, and if it's not right for us, it shows us. So some of the nature spirits that are with air are the fairies. Okay, so if you believe in fairies, they are an air creature. Dragonflies, butterflies. What else do we have that fly? Dragons. So we'll be going into the air dragon as well, because the air dragon is actually the guardian and in charge of the air elementals. So the spirits that come through the air are the ones that come through the blossoms in the trees, not the leaves. So if there is a flower that has bloomed, that represents an air spirit. Okay? Leaves are a different spirit. But any type of flower has to do with flying spirits. So with air magic, we want to work on our freedom. We want to work on wisdom. We want to work on lost things. If you're into, searching for the Holy Grail, you would use the air element. And the air element is really powerful because it blows from all directions. So the air element is actually connected to all of the spirits. And sometimes these spirits will get into a little bit of a battle. So elementals and the elements don't always get along. It depends on the energy that's happening. Air is considered to be a masculine energy, and it excels in places and spaces of learning, which will let us know it's at work. So whenever you're learning something new, it's good to pay attention to the atmosphere in the room, okay? As long as you can feel the atmosphere in the room, you'll be able to connect with the dragon. While we imagine, think, and consider, it is the direction of the greatest light and the light of consciousness and wisdom. What does that say? I can't read some of my writing.
Grad school. I was gonna go after the 22, but I probably just went away.
So the air element is good and also bad. Okay, so it's a type of neutral spirit. Whatever energy is there, it will enhance. And because air is a dragon type of spirit, it will enhance whatever energy we hold. So if we're in a bad mood and the wind starts to blow, be careful, okay? Tone it back a little bit. The wind always lets me know how strong the dragon action is around me, okay? So remember that air is masculine, and when the dragon comes about, it heats up the space. So even just talking about the air, I can feel the air warming up, hotter and hotter, okay? So it is everything we think and consider. So the air is ruled by a yellow dragon.
And what's her name?
And her name is Ceres.
Ceres?
Yeah. Some people will pronounce it Ceres as well, like fairies, Ceres. But our tradition is Ceres. And they are pure yellow. And the air dragons live in hot, moist places. So they like it warm, they like it moist. They're very peaceful in nature, and they love to share what they know. They feel knowledge is important to have. So they also control the winds and manipulate the air. The air dragons will suffocate. So if you've ever been to a place and it feels like the air closed up and it's really hard to breathe, that represents the air dragon not happy with what's going on. So the air dragon will remove all air from an area and create a vacuum-like seal. And once you're able to recognize that, then you need to practice and change that. Okay? So how many people are air people? Like when you stand outside, how many people actually love to feel the air? Okay. So that means a lot of you, if air is affecting you, if you're going outside and you feel it hitting you more than you normally would, then that's a sign that your future is in play right now. Okay? So the air dragon, Ceres, likes to bring us new beginnings, mental alertness, ideas, And they also react to gossip and ego. So if you are strong in your ego and quite controlling, or you have, you're gossiping, that actually upsets the dragons. They don't like that. And you will hit chaos. Chaos, they will bring chaos about. So for us, when it comes to the air element, it's important that we focus on our new beginnings, and when our mental power feels like it's drained or we can't comprehend things, then that's a sign that we need to relax and connect with our future. Okay? I'm going to practice. We're going to be doing some chants too with the air magic as well. Once we build our feathers, let me see yours. Okay. That's awesome. It's pretty far. It's awesome. Right on. There is stones if you want to add. Oh, you got some there? So the feather represents a few different things, and that's why we like to use the feather in magic. The tip of the feather Come on, where are you? I just closed my book again.
I keep forgetting there's crazy glue on this, and I keep getting my fingers stuck to this crystal.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my lost one of my things here.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bottom. I just kind of don't really have a plan in my head. It's kind of the story of my life. Yeah.
Where's my other book? I can't find my page. Okay. So when we use our feather wands, we are communicating, we're using them to communicate with the upper world spirits. And that is why when we use it, we go like this and we fan up. Okay? And this is a symbol of using communication. We want to speak to the gods. We want to lift our prayers, and we're purifying. So the very tip of the feathers, so this part of the feather up here, our pieces, our tips, actually represent adulthood. So this represents our adulthood. And then we have all of the veins. So all of these veins that are in the feather represents our life as we're living it. And it represents the days and the choices we've made. So when they are going up and high, that's good. You can see how they're pointing up. When they're broken and apart, see how this one's starting to split? That lets me know that our choices, we've been dealing with some difficult ones. So sometimes our feathers will split. If you're smudging a place and all of a sudden there's a break in the feather, then you know, oh my gosh, I'm fighting something. See, look at this one. See how those ones, see what I mean by how they break out? So this would let me know that there's two things going on. Okay, so the veins in the feather represent our choices we're making in the days of our lives, how we're living them. Then we have this fluff on the bottom of feathers. So when you find a natural feather and whenever there's this little baby fluff on it, that represents our new beginning. It represents when we were born and the things that are in play. What?
Oh, it's fine.
What?
I was looking for that.
Oh,
I'll use
sorry.
it when you're done. No worries.
The quill in the feather, so the hard part of the feather actually represents our inner strength and our path that we're on. So that meridian represents our inner strength.
Do you want some scissors?
And on either side of the quill, one is male and one is female. Okay? And if you look at my middle feather, that one you can see there's a lot going on, right? So the thinner side is usually represents the female and the bigger side of the feather usually represents male. So when you look at an eagle feather, like hers has, I think that's an eagle feather. The eagle feathers go in. You know how they kind of go like that? That would be the female side. Okay? And then I've taught you to snip, whenever you see the feathers, to snip it after to release the bird spirit. Otherwise they'll get angry. Feathers can haunt places. So sometimes you may go into a place and you notice that they have a dream catcher. Well, if those feathers weren't snipped, it could create a negative energy. Okay? Especially if it was something that was bought and not made. Do you know what I mean? So you want to be careful with feathers because they definitely have personality. Now the thing with the air magic is only concerned with how we want to live. Not how we should, and not, it's about what we truly want and desire. And that's why we use the wand for desire. But there's an entire path that's involved with that. The first part is the power of creation. And this is the energy that comes before the thought of what should take place. Okay? So everything with the air has its own frequency and is amplifying something in your life. We always want it to be something that we want. If we're not choosing to focus on our future, the dragon and the air element will bring us something to focus on that will affect our future. So for me, it's always important to have something in play that I am focusing on as a certain quality of life. So the first part of connecting to the air is also connecting with Archangel Uriel. And Archangel Uriel is an angel now, but before he became an angel, he was actually known as a human. And he actually walked the earth as a human. But he created and was invoked into a guardian angel spirit. And he is the angel of prophecy and vision. So whenever we're connecting to birds that are flying or birds that are sitting by us or out in our yard or even our feather wands, they are communicating with Archangel Uriel. And Archangel Uriel is the one that brought us the symbol of the pentagram. And if it wasn't for Archangel Uriel, we wouldn't have a pentagram. And he brought it to King Solomon to use for magic. And before the pentagram was known as a witchcraft symbol, it was actually the symbol that was used to invoke the spirits like Ceres. So it is a pentacle, wearing a pentacle, represents dragon magic as well. Any magic performed is dragon magic, is occult power, and that's what's in play. So, look at your wands. What do you think so far? Yours is, let me see your wand. Oh, I love it. Look what you brought in and look what you have already.
Yeah, just need one. I have a feather one. I just need one of these decorated. I've had stick forever.
Yeah.
Two stones does the trick. Exactly. Has some weights, feels very magical then.
So once you're getting close to the feathers, that is cute. I love that. What kind of feathers are those?
Partridge.
Oh wow.
Christy brought them in.
Oh yeah, they do look like those but bigger, hey?
Yeah, like they're the baby version of this.
They're perfect.
So yeah, yours must be partridge
So
too.
I ended up only adding one.
Huh.
I don't know why.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You can add feathers to it too.
As you go.
And you also want to be able to add things that hang. So you can add charms to it.
A partridge. I have one more if anybody wants one.
I want to see what the partridge does. Where's my... Did anyone use the sparkly stuff? I can't wait to use that.
I did.
Partridge feather. Oh, that looks so awesome.
I was gonna do more, but I think I'm pretty good with that. I'm trying to decide if I like that stone on there.
I don't like one of mine.
So let's talk about some of the feathers that you'll find. So partridge we have here. Partridge represents the goddess and is associated with feminine forces as well as fertility and new beginnings. Peacock feathers, I like to sometimes put in. Peacock represents protection from the evil eye. Blue jay feathers, a lot of people will find blue jays. And blue jays represent joy and light. Crows always let me know that there is a soul of the dead around. Crows always represent magical protection, but when you actually find a crow feather, it represents a soul of the dead trying to bring you influences to release something. It means that the spirit wants you to let go of something. Okay? Robin feathers, they represent new things that are coming into your life. Seagull feathers are always power of the goddess. Hawk feathers represent healing and abilities that are trying to come about. And we also have eagle feathers are always sacred. So whenever eagle feathers are found, you know that there is a grandfather figure around and that one of grandfather's lessons are in play. The same with the eagle or the owl. The owl represents the grandmother. Certain owl feathers are good and certain owl feathers are bad luck. And traditionally, it's the eagle and the owl feathers that should be given. They should never be bought. They should be given or found. Okay? And normally, the most powerful owl feather is if you receive one from your grandmother. So that's kind of cool. It's funny because the last powwow I did go to last year, my cousin had an owl hat, and she had her she put a feather in it. And when she went into the sacred circle, And when she came out, all of the traditional women, that's who I dance with all the old ladies. But the traditional women came to her and they gave her heck. And they actually told her she's not allowed to wear that feather, and how dare she actually put one on and wear it. So they took her feather hat away, and after about half an hour, I get approached with a new hat and an owl feather, and it's given to me. So that was a little stressful, but I was allowed to wear it because it was given. So it's kind of, some feathers, are quite sacred, more sacred than others. So the eagle and the owl are usually the most sacred. And we have pheasants. So pheasant feather are one of my favorites. And we also have chicken feathers. And in the Native people, we have a chicken dance, is what it's called. And all the men have to do the chicken dance, right?
All the warriors.
So the pheasants that we are using represents receiving the gifts and the things that we want. So that's why in magic, we like to use the pheasant, because it represents getting what we want. Okay, and tapping into our passions, as well as always wanting to do the best that we can and to take us to further and greater things. So the pheasant feathers are quite important. I like to use black chicken feathers because they are used in a lot of voodoo. And I love voodoo. So the chicken feathers has spiritual meaning. Represents cleaning the house. And it will also bring us meanings to our dreams. So if you have bad dreams and stuff, it's important to smudge your room, yourself, your pillow, and it will heal that. But the chicken feathers actually keep evil away, and they are known to be majestic. So I like the black chicken feathers. They're like, look how they flop and look, and they have that blue.
Yeah, I have a boa made out of them. That's pretty fun. The black chicken feathers, like a really thick, huge one.
Nice. And that's why the voodoo people like to use black chickens, because it does keep evil away, and that's how they'll use it. Sometimes I don't do that type of thing. I'd be like, run out. But black chicken feathers are quite important. And then these little fuzzy things, I believe these are turkey, actually. These fuzzy ones that are colored. Turkey feathers are always used as an imitation to the eagle feather. Turkey feather. And once we're finished, we're going to do So the reason why we put the turkey feather on the bottom like this, if you have the fuzzy ones, is because it represents the element earth and everything that's holding, that's on the earth. So it symbolizes abundance and protection. So we have upper world, underworld, and middle world connected. You'll see 3 levels of feathers for the world tree. So with the journey of the feather wand and also your regular wand, okay, we will use these wands, especially this one here, to represent the lessons that air has for us. And there is actually a mastery that us women and males should receive from the air element. The first one is learning how to go for what you want, having the faith that you deserve what you want to go for. Then it's also keeping that protected and shielded. Okay, a lot of people will do money magic to call in money, but a lot of people don't protect their money, right? So calling in money is important, but protecting your money is really, really important. So you should always protect your money. So if it has anything to do with the future, we use this. So the creative force of the air element comes before the initial idea. The idea is represented as the manifestation and the guidance that the higher world spirits around you want you to focus on. So a lot of us will feel a passion and then we'll start working towards that project. Well, the passion is going to ignite the power of air within you. So it's about tapping in and learning what this creative force wants you to have and where it's going to take you. So we always want to ask questions about our future. What should I focus on, this month? But always try to be ahead of you, and it's also about being on top of the energy that you need. So for me in my waking day, I stay high above anything that I'm dealing with. And if I can't be above that energy, then I know I charge up until I'm able to take it forceful or do it, okay? The other thing that happens is it's important to contemplate. The power of contemplation from where you've come and where you're going and where you are in the present is really important when it comes to your air magic, because you do want to link all three together. So you always want to take a look at where you are now and then consider where you're going. With air magic, when we do our smudging every day, it's not just to release the spirits or negativity or stress, but what it is about is directing and clearing our path for tomorrow. Okay, clearing our path for our next breath, right? The more clear we are, the more vision we get, the more clarity we get, and the more guidance we get in what we should be doing. So if we feel like we know we should be doing something, but we don't know, then that means that you need to heal with the connection and the power of the air element, because we should know where we're headed, okay? So a lot of times, Spirit will bring us urges and feelings, and then it starts to put the puzzle into place. But as soon as you start feeling that urge, something in the future is in play. So you want to make sure you start asking questions and you do some smudging to clear your path, right? I smudge every morning. I light up my smudge and I thank the spirits for a great day and ask for the universe to be blessed. And when I go to bed, I release all the stuff that I've seen and dealt with, and so that I can get my own space back, because I do work with a lot of people, right? And you get a lot of implantation in your head with things that you're seeing and doing. So keeping our minds clear is super important. If we're in a stressed position, it is so important for you to get air. And the way to heal is only by connecting to the power of air, the wind, the breeze, okay? You need to be able to connect with the breeze so that you understand, where is it hitting you? Is it in your forehead and your third eye? Is it hitting your neck and your throat? Do you feel it hitting your chest? Where does the breeze, where do you notice it first? Because that's where the message lies. If you walk outside and all of a sudden you feel it right here hitting you and your hair goes back, then you know that expression is important today. And there's something that you need to say, right? And then you also need to take a picture, or not a picture, you need to connect with what direction is coming in. Because the air blows in all directions, it will have a cleansing effect for your future. So it can cleanse your distractions, right? Through the power of fire, through the power of wind coming from the west. That means that we have a spirit that's in play trying to tell us there is something hidden that we need to seek in our life right now. Maybe it's advice, maybe we're focusing on the wrong thing, right? If the wind is blowing from the north and I'm sitting here and I'm feeling that push coming at me, or I'm facing the north and it's blowing at me, what is in play? What would you say is in play with that? our finances, our stability. The Spirit needs you to focus on that. It wants to cleanse that path. So even having a type of windsock or a feather hanging on a tree, you'll be able to see what wind blows, but you should definitely have something that's outside so that you can recognize the direction the wind is blowing every day. For me, yes.
What was west again?
West is when the spirit of the past, so someone passed away, is around trying to cleanse and bring about a hidden message. So there's something hidden in play that's important, that you may not be seeing something, and as soon as I feel that west wind hit me, I know I need to shut my mind off, and what is it that the Spirit is showing me today, now, right? So wind, you should check your wind every day, okay? If you find that the wind is blowing from the east, then that means that your path is clear to move forward. So I focus on everything that I want. That's when I go to the casino. That's when I do all my little things that I know come to my aid, right? So the directions are really important. If it's blowing from the south direction, it represents clearing distractions, but also trying to get your purpose into play, okay? So the wind will cleanse the direction that's in play and activate it for your future, okay? It could, if it's south, it could be our relationship. It can be our true purpose, what we're meant to be doing, but it will never be anything negative, okay? The only time we will experience negative things with the air is when the dragon is trying to get your attention. And with air element, we get the breezes, right? So the air, whenever there's crazy winds going on, like I have crazy winds at my place, so I play a lot of dragon magic with them. But when we have huge winds, the dragons are upset about something. When we have hurricane, yes.
Is there a dragon magic horse?
Well, it's kind of all together with like earth, air, fire, water. We kind of do it that way. But I could do a full dragon magic course. So extreme things in weather, even the storms, our winds, that means that the dragons are not happy. So I always light a candle to the dragons, or I'll sit outside, feel the wind, let it go through me, and ask the Spirit and give the Spirit power. Okay? And by giving Spirit power, Spirit will bring you power. So the color of air is yellow, orange. We use any type of opportunity you're looking for. If it has to do with the future, we'll use the orange color of a candle. Okay, so white, orange, or yellow can be used for the air magic. There is no limits when it comes to working with the dragons. So if it's something that existed in the world today, or has existed, we can ask for it, and it should be able to come easily. If it's something that hasn't been existed and you're like the creator of it, sometimes it takes a little more work. But when it comes to extreme magic, I need my protection. I want to make sure that, nothing can get into my way of what I'm trying to manifest. I use the dragons. So if I'm in a business meeting and I don't like the way the place feels, or I'm losing power, I call the dragons in and I wait until it's my turn to speak, or the energy comes to me, and then I push for what I want. So you can actually change the atmosphere in this room, which we're going to be practicing with our wands. We're going to cool, see if you can feel the heat. We're going to try to cool this baby up. Okay? So you can actually change the environment of the room by connecting to the air spirit. Now the air spirit, I don't want you to imagine, is just one spirit. Every single atom of air, every little piece of air is a spirit. So as the spirits, pass through, as that fan is blowing, there are energies in each one of these atoms. And they're either attracting to us, Depending on our energy, are we receiving or directing? Okay. So do you have your feather? Are you pretty much done your feathers? So we're going to watch your feather. I don't want it to light up on light up on fire. Mine got super waxed out once, so
Mine
it's
has a
a
bunch
little.
of wax stuck to it.
I probably made this guy 8 years ago, so they last a long time. And with the feather ones, they don't like you having, you know, more than one unless they're specific use, right?
I was just gonna ask that question, like, should I have one for home and one for the studio?
You could, yes. And like I have one for the teepee and one for my house. But you can also have a single feather wand, right? So we would do just one feather on a stick, and that's good for cleansing strangers, I would say. But I like the full feather deal because I like to get that.
I now have this one, and I have one that I bought in St. Martin's, it's like a smudge board.
Yeah,
Are they two different things?
no, you could use that the same way.
But, so I used it, I should run it.
That they are two different types. So you wouldn't want to have two of these, right?
So I made one before with you when I had this one.
But is it like this one?
We use the same feathers, it's just not right.
I didn't know we did that. I was wondering what we did in your.
That's why I was wondering about this, because we did that, we had pieces of stick and we popped them in, we drilled holes and we used
Yeah.
them like this. That's why I brought the sticks, but I kinda like this better.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I thought we made regular wands in your class. See, every
We made
class is
regular
always
ones
different.
here.
Yes,
We
one
made
night.
here one night and made regular
Yeah.
ones.
Okay. So, like I said, I have like one that's a full wing. If you have two of these, you would dedicate one to others.
Yeah, I'll purchase.
And then you know that one's for other people and this one's mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
Because I have wands that I won't use on people. They're just for specific uses.
okay,
Okay?
I can do that.
And the same with the feathers. All the feathers are used for different uses. So always collect your wand, like always collect feathers. If you pass a feather, make sure you pick it up. Don't leave it.
I pass so many feathers and I'm like, no, but then I find these and I'm like, no, I need that one.
If it looks dirty and you know, like you just kind of know it's not for you. Like if it's not going to be something that's pleasurable to pick up, don't.
Pass on.
Okay? Then it's not, I'll still bless it. I'll still, you know, ask for it to be blessed or released, but I won't touch it. So now that we have the feather wands, once Angie comes back, we are going to start to smudge them. We're going to invoke Saras and get these babies going. Okay? So Krista, can you pass me that smudge wand? And the shell I'll take. Look at the feather, look at the candle gone already.
It's the thing, it's not the thing.
That's okay.
But it's
Okay.
a lovely dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
So if it doesn't have anything to do with your future, it's not air. Air is only future, okay? So air is future, earth and fire is present, and water is past. So if the wind from the west comes, it's the past. And it's coming up, so that it's not going into the future. So we're using dragon's blood and sage. I love dragon's blood. Okay. And you can see there's nothing spreading out nice. Twirl it, get some smoke on it, and then go like this.
So what's the intention behind doing it?
We're cleansing it with the dragon blood. We're activating it. So dragon's blood is an amplifier and an activator. We'll use dragon's blood to make inks, and then we'll write spells with it. It's an herb. It actually comes from a tree. It's called the dragon tree. It's got some other word to it. I'm not good at saying it. But it's a South American tree. and when it's sliced, it bleeds. And it bleeds red. And that red petrifies into a stone type of stuff. And I get it in a brick form, and it's got a gold seal on it, and it's over $100 for a little piece like this. And then we shatter it. We crush it. It like shatters red, bright. It's beautiful. And then we'll also burn it on charcoals. So we'll use it for a lot of things. The reason why we're using it today is because we are invoking our dragon so that we can work with this.
So like the dragon's blood essential oil,
It would be the same.
same.
So that thing you were just talking about, when you sell pieces.
Oh yeah, I got a big jar.
Come visit again.
Anytime I leave my house
I don't
Water, that's like,
on the 8th.
okay.
Make sure you smell it too. And if it's not, yeah, it's going. Nice.
I did do her.
The earth, we do the protection bottles. And you know what? You should see mine now. Mine's half empty.
So once we learn how to do that, can we just make them whenever we want?
Whenever you want.
So I should make one for home, but one for here as well,
Oh, definitely. One for behind each door.
behind each door.
So with that earth magic, if you're coming, you want to bring a glass bottle. And your cauldrons. Any size you want.
Yeah, me too. It's customer appreciation day at.
I looked, but someone bought them all, bragged about it. I was like, you need more than one.
What's it called? Boutique Mistral? No, one of them in Moncton, it's like the only grocery store out there. She's got, what's it called, customer appreciation day on the 7th for making a day trip.
Nice.
She does sell cauldrons there, but they're a little higher than what I can afford.
Yeah.
So with her customer appreciation
Well, the little
day-
ones like that are about 125.
Well, yeah, and then the one less, I think, was 70-ish. So if I could get the 70-ish with a little bit of a discount, I might be able to swing that. Shut it.
I know the little ones are like 20. I do my little ones for like
I have an
20.
itty bitty one that I found, so
Yeah, for travel, those are awesome.
And I have it on my altar, but then my friend got me a great big one, it's Essex, so she only paid like $25.
At the flea market. Yeah. Okay. Did you smell the dragon's blood? Pretty awesome, hey?
The one for 20. You take a picture and
You know what? I can get any cauldron. So if you see one you like, just let me know and I can do my best take on it.
yeah.
But they actually come from Africa.
Okay.
And we used to be the suppliers. We used to be the only ones that brought the cauldrons in to Canada. And then we stopped once everyone else started.
I just want
Like
one
the
that's
airplanes.
a good size, but I
Yeah.
have to say I don't have enough. I didn't remember. So I'm looking to spend at least 50-ish.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can find me
I'll
one
show
for
you which
that.
ones I can get for that.
Okay.
And it only takes me like 2 weeks to get them.
Okay, yeah, send me some pictures.
And I'm actually gonna be doing an order anytime.
Okay,
So.
let me know. Cause I do that right, so it goes through you anyway.
Yeah,
Still going for the day trip.
I'll price match anyone. And with a little. Get that dragon's blood going. It's still smoking, hey? So it didn't go out.
No?
Oh, I thought it was gonna go out. Dragons like you already. So
Keep blue is but I just got my hands.
you got your feathers.
Oh yeah, we gotta do a cover set.
And then we're going to do the chant and activate. So first, we will want to hold our feathers in our left hand. And I go like this because it actually does create a static electricity. And be careful because if you touch things afterwards, you might get shocked. Brett, can you tell them how we're supposed to clean our feathers if they get dirty or bent or weird?
Or full of glue.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
The warriors, the native warriors teach how to cleanse the feathers properly.
Well, you can just hold them where you see that they split, and then you just squeeze the feather lightly, and you kind of just continue to stroke it outward like that, just in the same grain as the feather. And then you continue to do it until it self-heals. So you just line it up and they'll actually reconnect the feather until it's unbroken again. And you can get them back so they're perfect. It just takes a little bit of time. And you just
But it will
do it
re-stick.
slowly, like you can see a section here has already came back together. And it will re-stick, so even though it's opened up, each little feather has little tiny fuzzies on it, and they'll connect with each other.
Do we just put that back on the base? Are you done?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you can put it on its base. Okay, we got that feather. So if you find that one of them snapped or is broke like that, then that means something is in play, right? And you know that is something difficult, so you want to heal it. And you can actually heal that path or that situation in life just by blessing it and touching it. So of course, use your index finger on your right hand is to heal.
What if one of my feathers split through another feather?
Is it fixable if you go like that?
Oh, it's fixable, I just didn't know if it meant something.
If they intertwine each other?
One came through the other.
Yeah, that does mean something. That means there's actually some type of, what's the word for it? Kind of. That wasn't the word I was looking for. Some kind of influence. There's two influences. And it was the chicken feather?
The chicken feather went through the partridge feather.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's awesome. So those two spirits are working together.
Keeps doing
It has to do something in the future. What else do you notice about your feathers?
Yeah, mine has a split like right off the center of me.
This guy's completely screwed. It looks like some scissors.
Yours? Yeah, you gotta heal it.
I'm trying, but it doesn't want to.
So the male and female aren't getting along right now. There's an imbalance.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mine's got a stray.
Doesn't seem to want to go back.
It wants to go back. Just get those babies back.
Come on.
All right, so that's a good thing to point out, the masculine and the feminine side not getting along. You'll find too, sometimes your feathers will all stick up strong and straight, almost like you just watered your plant, and other times they'll be like this, floppy. So they will not stay the same, they'll always change. See how floppy this one is? Well, maybe in a week from now, it'll be a lot stronger. So you do want to pay attention to how your feathers are every once in a while. The reason why I like to have the three longer ones represent Mother Maiden Crone, the triple aspect of the goddess. So now that you have your wands, you know how to heal your wands. Let's do our Saras call. So I want you to repeat after me. Okay, first say Saras.
Saras.
How does it feel? Did it feel weird? Sometimes certain words will be intimidating for you to say it. Okay, so left hand we're going to call, and then the right hand we're going to do the chant. And you can just repeat after me. I'll find it in my thing. And then we're going to practice smudging each other with it. And you're going to use yours differently. Okay, are you ready? So left hand right now. And I like to actually have the feathers in my hand. Okay? And repeat after me. I summon you.
I I summon you.
One sec, I lost my page again. Oh my god, okay. We're gonna start over. I summon you, Saras.
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 By your might and strength, we summon you.
By your might and strength, we summon you.
Stomp your left foot. By your might and strength, we summon you.
By your might and strength, we summon you.
And stamp. By your might and strength, we summon you.
By your might and strength, we summon you.
I didn't even have to tell you that. It's awesome. By your wisdom
By your wisdom
and ancient love,
and ancient love,
we summon you.
we summon you.
By your wisdom
By your wisdom
and ancient love, we
and
summon you.
ancient love, we summon you.
By your wisdom and ancient love, we summon you.
By your wisdom and ancient love, we summon you.
Bring your magic.
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 Could you feel a change in the air? It got cooler for me.
From behind the sanitizer.
Okay, yes. Okay, we're not done. Now put it in your right hand. Ready? Repeat after me. Osiris,
O Saras,
dragon most fair,
dragon most fair,
come to me.
come to me.
Let us feel the change in air.
Let us feel the change in air.
O ruler of the sky and air,
O ruler of the sky and air,
come from the east.
come from the east.
Bring us your sight.
Bring us your sight.
Starting tonight,
Starting tonight,
let our feathers be magical in their flight.
let our feathers be magical in their flight.
Bless our wands
Bless our wands
with the air,
with the air,
so that with our desires
so that with our desires
are manifesting and answering our prayers.
are manifesting and answering our prayers.
We summon you, Saras.
We summon you, Saras.
We summon you, Saras.
We summon you, Saras.
We call our spirit guide,
We call our spirit guide,
the strongest bonds darkness cannot tear.
the strongest bonds darkness cannot tear.
For I know your love is always there.
For I know your love is always there.
I call you forth to share your guidance.
I call you forth to share your guidance.
Please guide me stronger starting today.
Please guide me stronger starting today.
Now we want to draw a star in the sky with our wands.
I always go the wrong way.
There's no wrong way.
I did the same thing.
What way did you go?
I start up and then when you end down.
Did you go up to the left or up to the right?
Up to the right.
Okay, let's talk about that. So we're gonna, okay, so everyone cast their circle, so mote it be.
So mote it be.
Okay, let's talk about this. So one by one.
Yes,
So
I
you
remember
went,
seeing the diagram.
so you went, okay, so you went
I
top,
went up to down.
down to the
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So you did the top, down.
I don't even know what it is.
So then you did the fire element star.
Down.
I went right, left, over, cross, down.
So you did
But I
a,
ended on this down when I did it down before.
so you went down to the right. not down to the left.
Yeah, I ended down here, so yes, I did.
I go up.
So I went
I go up to the
Up,
right.
down,
I go
up, down.
So you
I can't
went,
redo
if you
it.
went down from, so you did a fire invoking.
Okay.
What way did you go? So you went up and then down.
Yes.
Okay, so if you went up and then down, up and then down. Oh, so you did spirit. So you invoked spirit. What did you do? So you went down to the left? Okay, so you did earth spirit. So money and stability.
Yep.
What was yours? You went across from right to left? Air spirit. Good for you! What way did you go? So you went up. So that would have been up to the left? Or up to the right?
Spirit.
Yep, spirit. You're good. Okay, so spirit.
I do that one too.
Spirit?
We're all spirit. I don't know.
Yeah, up to the right.
Okay, spirit. So when you did that, naturally, however you did it, you use the air, spirit, to call in that element. So if it was spirit element, that means psychic and your spirituality is what is in play with your future right now. And if you did fire, that represents your true purpose is coming about. That's what the spirit wants. If you did the air element, it's all Ceres and future. So that, I think, was intuitive. Good for you. And earth represents your stability, also keeping your strength. So the spirit wants you moving forward with your success. What else are we missing? Yeah, this whole side did one. That's awesome. So divination, anything to do with the future, asking the spirit what is for your future. So now let's do some smudging. And with that, we're going to use something stinky, tobacco. And we're going to smudge each other. We want to hear the birds. So, could you hand me that abalone shell? And as we smudge, we're going to smudge each other. Okay? I'm going to play the drum. Yes. Okay, and we'll get the dragon's blood going. So you are going to learn how to do the smudging now. So traditionally, we start at the front, right down at the feet. We're all going to stand up to get smudged.
Can we come over there where it's open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably better than.
Yeah. And the fans going.
Let's do it all up here. We'll all stand in a circle because we're just going to smudge I'm going to smudge you up and down, then you're going to turn and smudge her up and down, and we'll do it that way. And if you're not a smoker, I'm not a smoker, this is a special tobacco. It would knock you out if you smoked it. People are scared of me because they rolled this up and smoked it. Now I'm blamed for that. Okay, so just before we get started, now if you hear that, no problem. So when we do it, now traditionally I like to even lift my feet up and get them, but when you smudge people, you want to hit them with the feathers a little bit, see? And you always go above. So I go up, see? You want to go up here and then I twirl. There's a twirl. Okay? And that is because we're not smudging the physical body, we're actually smudging all 12 of our bodies, our light bodies. So we don't want to just smudge her, we want to smudge this body and that body and that body up until about 4 feet high. Okay? I think I got this going again. Just throw it in that.
I like it. It's nice.
So whenever you smudge, you want to do it clockwise. So we're going to go in a clockwise circle. Let's all just come out in this circle here. Let's see, get that going. Yeah, look at this. This is good. Perfect. Oh my gosh. So take note on the environment and how you feel around you. I feel like I got to cool off, so I feel good. I want you to call Saris outside 3 times. And you just have to say Saris. Do you guys remember when I did that at the sleepover? We were getting a little bit of a wind and then I called and I went whack! And then I was like, oops. And I was just trying to show off. You did it well. Okay. And when you smudge, you always want to make sure you get. Perfect. There you go. So we can do full healings with this by using the smudge. And what the medicine doctors will do is like this until we get the bird. Now tell me if you can hear a bird's feather with hers. Yeah, you don't want to. Nice. Now walk around and just kind of let everyone hear your bird. Can you hear it? Does it sound like a feather, a real bird's wing? How does it sound? Walk around the circle, see if we can. Remember? Oh yeah.
You start from the bottom.
Yes. Yes, so you want to add your charms to it. So you can add, I had a whole bunch of strings. But you just add to it whenever you want. It's okay.
Do you have to do anything specific as you add to it, like a special blessing
No.
or redo anything? Just
Nope. Whatever you
whatever you
feel.
feel. Okay. I want to put something out of this.
I like to have something from this for my family. Let me hear yours. Nice. Okay, go around. Let them hear it.
I do.
Do you hear it? It's gotta be approved.
I love that.
I got goosebumps.
So when I made this, I actually put those reverberant on the sides.
One in and out. They all went together. That's meant to be. That's amazing.
It's kind of cute.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yes.
so one of those cups of detergent.
Absolutely.
There's more in my fridge.
Can you hear it? You heard it? Nice. I love it.
Right behind the door is a fridge. Excuse the messy office.
So the most important part is always this area.
Should I just do it with my hand?
Yes, you're gonna, well, you don't need to smudge, you're going to use yours and just go here, here, and then here. And just point.
See, I gotta go
For
for
a minute.
Yeah.
Will you hand me my other one? There's
Wow, Peter, your feet are tan.
I have like the craziest tan line from us.
I know, I do a little bit.
It was dirty.
I don't know where to do that.
Disease that people get with their skin, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're.
We'll give these ones to, we'll let you do the feathers clean and I'll do the wand after.
Okay, so who am I smudging? That?
Yep.
You're my.
They sound different. They all have
They all
a
taste
little bird
different.
essence. And you know, you'll be able to do this with your smudge wand. Then do the twirl. Nice. Yes. And I think I was on. Well, just smudge my.
Instead of the close part.
Probably after my last 3 days would be on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here.
I can too. It's awesome.
I wonder if she knows that.
I can hear.
So Kalina, when
Oh,
you
thank
use
you.
yours, this is what I want you to do. And you still go to the feet
I love
and
that.
attach, and then go up the center. Hold it above the crown. See, when I do that, I can see the energy all in here touching her. And then turn around, and then do the same, attach, and then just direct slow. And what you want to do is focus on your tip about here and see the light shooting off of it. At nighttime, you'll know what I mean. And then up the meridian. And then just hold at the crown. Do you feel any direction? Do you feel that she's doing something to you? Focus on the top of your head. You focus on the crown chakra, you'll feel like almost just something.
Light up. So caught it and
Now walk around and just kind of go follow me and we'll do this to each person. And then you just go above the crown and that will charge up. See, I can see her whole crown right there. And then we'll do that. And if they don't feel anything, we go like this.
Stick it in the onion.
Stick it in your third eye.
Focus on right up on the very tip of your head and see if you can feel anything. Sometimes it's like
tingling.
tingling. Perfect. Nice crown.
Oh, no, don't fall down.
Don't fall down. Don't fall.
Do you feel something? Beautiful. Focus right here. Up there.
It's like a pull, a little pull.
It might feel like hair blowing or a little tingle.
That's warm.
Warm? Okay. Warm. So male spirit, masculine energy coming forward. Do you feel your crown?
You just feel
A little itchy? Okay, that's what I would see. That's awesome. So then you can actually feel vibrations.
Scratch your head.
I love your hair. See, I can already see the energy right on. I can see it. Can you feel it? Yeah. I know. It's strong right there. You got a strong crown chakra.
Still kind of going on.
It will.
You never know, the woods might just provide something lovely for me.
See, our centers want this.
Brad said, we always said that we opened the trunk of the
You
bike
wanna focus
and
on
we're trying it, and he said it was the size of a small bird. Dragonfly flew in.
This?
He's like, I don't know where the heck it came from, but it
I gave you goosebumps. Did you feel it? Did I do you?
Yeah, you started with me.
See, I can see that right there. You can feel it?
Experiments.
Actually, one time, I had this one client, and I was doing a psychic development class, and I was taking them to a haunted house or something. Well, I told my class what house this place was going to be, and I told them, don't go there without me, go with the class. Well, this guy who's taking the class thinks he's going to be a show-off, so he goes to the house and takes some woman to it. And this house is really bad. Like, it was right in Vancouver, and it was used, like, people were practicing dark magic in it, and there's always something going on. Either way, I said, don't go. So it's time for us to go and do the cleansing or whatever. So we go to the house, and right when we're in the middle of the circle, he, like, gets the jump in. And, like, he didn't get jumped in while we were in the circle, he already got jumped in. But because we were in circle form, and we were doing the cleanse in the house, he started to freak out because that spirit was in him. So he started to come at me to choke me. So he came at me to grab. As soon as I took my wand on him, he couldn't come forward. So the wand can be very protective. Another time, and then I ended up having to get the spirit out of him, and then I gave him shit. And then the class wanted to come around for about a week. Everyone canceled because they had to figure out what exactly happened. And then I was the scary one, right? But he was going to strangle me to death. Either way. So the wand is very protective. It's not just something that we point and direct. I even had another time where I did a reading for a woman, and I told her that her son needed to get a job, and she got really pissed. So all of a sudden I get a phone call at my old place, and it's the mother, and she's like, you know, my son is freaking out. I told him about what you said in the reading. He's coming to your place. He's got a knife. I put my protection onto the stairs, and as he's coming at me, and across the street there was a group home, it looks like he kept hitting this wall, and he actually could not come down the stairs. And then he started freaking out. I want to speak to the goddess through Georgina. And I'm like, you need to go, buddy. He ended up not getting home that day, and we, I think it was 3 years later, they found his remains.
Oh, wow.
So he actually lost it that day and never returned, and they found his remains later. And I believe that was because he went so dark and was coming at me. My mom saw him driving. She was leaving that night from bingo going home. She saw him walking on the road, irate, and at that time his shirt was off. So that was the last thing. So magic is serious, and it will come into form when you need help and assistance. Okay? So know that pointing your wand does actually do something. And when I use my wand, I like to actually go like that. I like to have my pointer along it. The same when I'm smudging. I like to have my pointer along it, and I'll smudge. You don't always have to do that, but if you're dealing with negative energy, or the smudge starts to stink, then you know you're dealing with the negative energy. Put your pointer out. It's going to keep all energy away from you and keep you protected. So, use your feather wands, cleanse your house. You always cleanse in a circle, clockwise, and
Bottom to
smudge.
top or top to bottom?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When I go around the house, I just go up and down like this.
The floors. Yeah, like multiple floors, it doesn't matter?
And I usually do.
Do just walk to it. So if you always start at the front door or the door that you use, clockwise. As soon as there's a staircase, go up the staircase, do the clockwise, come back down, then keep going. If you get to the basement, go down, do the basement clockwise, come back up, and then keep going.
Okay.
Yes, in the basement.
I did that.
If
too.
you're smudging your house,
I
if you're smudging your house, you wanna do all of it.
So when I do mine, when I go, if I stay to the right, then I have to do my basement first and then up my stairs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That keeps me true.
The other thing you can do, if you don't wanna do the whole thing inside, then you could do the outside.
That might be faster for me.
Outside is better at night, because then you can actually look up at the sky above the house and see the energy. You'll see a circle around it. in the
So you
sky.
need to do around your, but you know where I live, I have
Yeah,
them
yeah.
attached, I can't have that whole.
Yeah, you'd have to go in there. Yeah, you have to do the inside. Yours has
Hey, I'm
inside.
just here for a minute.
Smudge your cars. If you can't sleep, smudge your pillows. When was the last time you smudged your pillows? Make sure you do. Oh my God!
Oops.
I
never have either.
Like
When I burn things, the whole house fills with smoke, so every time I.
It's supposed to.
Well, I know,
If you
but
smudge
I'm
it,
feeling it gets it a little
if
bit.
you smudge it and there's lots of smoke and it like isn't moving, it's just lingering, that means the house is very positive and that there's lots of psychic energy in there. And that's why when I smudge, I'll smudge to release spirits, but I'll also smudge to call in spirits. Because as soon as I build up that smoke, then I know, okay, psychic energy is here, and I tap in. Okay? So that's why smudging doesn't work for some people, because if you don't know what you're doing, you could actually invoke more spirits, right? Or, if you don't know what you're doing, when we smudge, it's clean, then you want to focus on what you want. Never leave the holes open. So I like to smudge, and then I'll light a candle about everything I desire in my heart, and light it. Then that way, the energy is cleansed, and it's not like holes, right, that will regrow. Okay, so sometimes that's another reason why a house won't get smudged properly, is because they'll smudge it, it cleans, but it's very temporary because they're not feeling that energy. So if I smudge and there's a spirit, and I know there's a spirit in the house, I tell the spirit has to go somewhere. Unless it's something that we can pop and vanish. But if it's just like a negative spirit that's, you know, a jerk that lived here 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's one I got.
That's not what
So then you want to make sure you feel that energy. Otherwise, as soon as it gets weak, guess who's back?
Yeah.
Like spirits can sit outside and wait, right? So that's
I guess that probably sits on the deck. Oh,
And if
she's
you
done.
are cleansing a spirit, you want to send it somewhere. So whenever I deal with demon spirits, I'll send it to the church, because that's where it's made from, right? That's their God. It's not mine. Or if I have an enemy, I'll say, go to so-and-so's house. Haunt them until they smudge. But I don't do that too often. I don't have any enemies. I used to.
How was your drive-by drunk? Is he gone now?
Oh, geez.
Never heard from him again.
Yay.
That's
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's pull our cards. So your homework is to call Sarah outside.
Hold on, so mine has a big handle like that. It looks like it has a big handle.
Call Sarah outside and see if the wind responds.
So,
If the wind doesn't respond, call again. And whenever you call Sarah, you call 3 times. So Sarah,
well, I kind of.
Sarah, and then wait. And if you go no wind, you didn't call me. No, you can call with the air, you can call anytime you want, there's always a breeze. The other thing you want to do with your wands, you can use your feather wand or your traditional wand. The traditional wand is always stronger, or your blessing fingers. Try to call one of the winds. So you want to learn how to call wind from the west. come to me now and wait and see. Because eventually, if you connect with the wind, you'll be able to call the wind and you'll be able to change the direction of the wind. So if I need to do money magic, and I need that around me because I'm gonna go to the bank or whatever, I will call that wind so that it touches me, comes to me. I know I have that dragon support and I'll go get what I want. Okay? So let's pick our angel cards for the night. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought this little guy too
This
was.
one too? I don't know that could I, maybe I could better.
I have a question.
Okay.
I would like to have the 13 minutes saved to a computer. So the link I can't seem to download to save.
Oh, yeah, I have the same question, simply because I don't
What?
have I don't have internet in my house, so if
Yeah.
I could save it, then I could.
So could we
Listen to
do
it
like
every
a USB somehow and get copies?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we come out for the.
Yeah, bring a USB and I'll put
Okay.
it on.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
I
I don't
know
have
the
internet.
link
And I also have something I want to show you on your YouTube channel. I
On
think
mine?
There are a couple that shouldn't be there that are there.
Really? Okay, nothing. Is it just readings or is it, okay, so it's people's readings? I don't want that. Okay.
Yeah, I have all I have. is
Healing.
my- Yeah,
So that's the energy around right now. Use the air magic for healing.
yeah.
And it's gonna be anything you want. It doesn't just have to be your body. It could be whatever you feel needs healing. Yeah. Enchantment.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, so I can see you calling the wind. You have to do that. I think you'll spook yourself out. First couple of times it does get kind of creepy because you don't really know what to expect, but if you get a big wind, then it's like, oh my God, I love it. Spiritual growth, awesome. Okay, you're smudging. See, even with my Airbnb, whenever someone's out of my teepee, I smudge it so that it feels good to the next person, even though it's a fucking tent. That's what I call it.
It's the fucking.
The fucking teepee.
She looks at it.
Can I?
They're all couples coming for romance. Romance! There you go, see? You need to visit the teepee. So romance, air magic. So the air magic is focusing on you and your partner, and something that you two are focusing the future together. Your spiritual growth that has to do with your future is something that you're meant to be doing. It's part of your purpose. Divine timing. So finally, you got to do something, and that's gonna work for you. So you're gonna get the call whenever you need to smudge something. And you should actually try to smudge someone's house or, go into service with it. Children, get smudging those babies.
There's no more coming, so. It's not hard.
Yep, you got smudge a kids. New love. So that represents your wands. Your wand and the things that you're working on. So I had a dream about you too, I wanted to tell you.
Meditation.
Beautiful. So meditate with your wand, facing the east,
Were these meant for wands? Can we?
if you wanted to.
You get two, Tim, I had two, Polly.
Fairy charms.
Oh, you had three. She had meditation, divine timing. Oh my God, you had four. New love and children. Oh no. You, oh, where'd you get all those? Which one was yours? I'm like, they're my heirs. She just got meditation. Oh, it's
Now, I don't have bags, but if you wanted to take a little tobacco
Did she tell you
to
what
offer.
So your tip is not smoke it.
So I had
I'll see if I have
balance,
it.
I had two Polly and emerging.
Okay, so that probably means something is coming into reality for you, and you do have balance, and I think that has to do with what we were talking about before.
So everything's good.
I think so.
I do too, after I get out of work. I always in my head for about 2 hours.
and then I got out of it. I'm like, I'm not letting myself go.
Does anyone have any questions?
No, thank you.
How much is your new book?
25.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Perfect. Let's see what I got. Divine timing. Time to be done. I gotta get home.
Yes.
Dark moon ritual.
So what happens if we don't have a black scarf?
That's okay. You don't need to wear one.
That's
I have
nice, too.
scarves, but I just don't have a black one.
Well, you can wear a different color. Is a darker one?
I think I have a purple, a mauve
Use a
color.
purple one.
Go on your phone and just have it under.
The reason dark scarf is because dark goddess, so we'll use that and we'll wear it like a hood.
I'm gonna see if I can find something.
I have a black hooded thing I can wear.
Yeah, you can wear black hood. Black
just gonna wear the
hoodie.
black
You can wear black hoodie.
I like this box. I was like, is it a real book? I was feeling it on my face.
Right?
Which one did you like?
No, that's
Oh,
for the
that's
class
tonight.
tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if anyone's paying cash for tonight,
I
let
already
me
know
know.
what
You got, yeah, I got your payment. Okay, I got Leslie's. Angie, I got your payment.
I'll see you on the internet.
Okay, online, right? Okay.
Oh no, I'll see you on Friday.
I'll see you on Friday then. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're coming to the Earth Magic, bring a bottle
I wanted the Earth Magic.
and your cauldron.
Just say bring a bottle.
Yeah.
What kind of bottle?
So any type of glass bottle, because we're gonna do protector bottles, witching
Oh
bottles.
crap, I felt it.
So,
change for a
I
book?
think that you
20.
want it.
15.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I still owe
20.
Perfect. Which one would you like?
A new one.
So
Or chocolate
it's
too.
funny that I got.
Right before I got here, I had to go with my boyfriend and when I drove to like
So I have a new
You're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
where
I'm gonna take one of those too. But I
Okay.
wanted to show you this while I'm here.
Okay.
Under playlists, we've got, I just looked at it. There we go.
Okay, so that's just your security number, right? If you want, you should come see me, and I can do a release.
So, and I know at the beginning she says
And
this is
then
supposed
all
to be
you
private,
need to
nobody
do
should
is
hear
just
them.
be open to
So I
your
just didn't know if you were aware they were
But
in
if you
there.
find that your mind
Oh,
is
okay.
I didn't look
Yeah,
at
those-
those, but they are in there for like, if I wanted to listen, like they were there.
I need
to
half
listen
an
to.
hour.
Okay.
And I know she likes to keep those
Okay.
private.
That's
and I-
my issue right now because I'm
Yeah, that was the night that we were here.
But that's the same when people are starting to dip into your abilities, like your psychic
Okay.
abilities.
So I don't know if she wants to remove
Oh,
them,
thanks for
but
letting us know.
Yeah.
We'll just,
I think it just means that
Yeah.
you need help.
Well, that's what I was thinking, right?
Yeah.
I am gonna get a book, I'm gonna have to e-transfer though.
Anyway, so once, yeah, I think just let me know. The feelings are always free, so you just come by, okay?
You're welcome.
So,
And I never leave,
when, I was gonna say, when can I do it?
because you're still in St. Martin's, right?
So I live, again, in Illinois, I live in Mud River, but I'm a campground
Okay.
in St. Martin's. So
So,
I'm out there a lot.
anytime you have like half an hour, either after work one day or on the way, just let me know. Because I pretty much don't leave the house,
Whatever.
ever.
You're always on the go.
Alright, you know the dream.
What? Oh, yes. You doing your teaching online,
Yeah.
but actually having videos that people can purchase.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to know, were you working on that, or are you planning to? There should.
Yeah.
And then they can just pay for, a lesson and learn. And I think it's different from the ones that you do
And now,
in person.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get.
Fridays and Sundays.
But I actually dreamt of your video. I saw you doing it and how people could just purchase it. And, yeah.
There you go.
Tell you about that.
Thank you.
Look that one up.
So I've paid a deposit on both of them.
Yeah.
You just wanna send me the other half on
yes.
Facebook.
Have a great night.